Welcome to my channel, my name is Valerio and today we're gonna review the Red Gundam HG, a model kit from Bandai from the new line Gundam G-Quacks. If you don't know anything about the anime, the story, or why this Gundam is red instead of the usual color, well, I will not spoil you anything. I just highly recommend that you go and watch the anime for yourself because I think this is one of the best things that come out on the Gundam world in the past 10-15 years. Obviously, I'm a fanboy. I would give this the direction of this anime about it. I'm a fanboy of the designer out of it, so, well, I might be a bit biased. Anyhow, I bought this model kit on Link Japan for $20 to $25. I'm not sure they still have it on stocks, but give it a check. If not, I'm pretty sure this is going to be quite easy to find all around the world pretty soon because this is not Bandai, this is a normal release. Now, as I was saying, quite love the new designer and I was really waiting for this one. I know they will release a version of this kit with also the traditional color. However, if you paint a kit, you can just paint this one into the different color. Said so, before we start, let me say I love this model kit and I wish they did also 1/100 scale. But after that, let's start by looking at the runners. Normally I don't comment on the color of the runners. However, this is not the usual pink char. This is more toward the fluo on the plastic, which does cause me some issue, and I will tell you about it at the end. However, quite a bit of runner, like a lot of it. There is also this super width runner that I will show you later. That doesn't look like anything that we normally see inside a high grade, at least that I can't remember of. And yes, there is quite a bit of plastic for this amount of money. Multicolor, well separated. There are also stickers, which I don't love. I will not attach because I do plan to paint it on a certain point. And, the manual, the first couple of pages are color and the rest is in black and white. I don't know. I mean, the manual is super easy to follow. So this is really in the class of advanced Lego builder. So if you follow the structure, you will not have any problem. However, when I took it out of the box, I saw this one and I said, what the hell is this thing here? And taking a close look at it, I found out it was the chain of the chain ball that he has. This reminds me a tiny bit the pre-assembled runner of the Perfect Grade Unleash. However, altogether 50 minutes to build it, going very slowly and not cleaning anything because I plan to paint it. This is like a pre-build. As I was saying, instruction pretty good. We have two beam saber. If you have at least 10 Gundam, most likely you have at least 10 of them at bare minimum. Now, as I was saying, the sticker will stay there. Even the foil one, I really care very, very little for stickers. Now, we have some polycaps, which I thought were dead into the water, okay, the hands are pretty well detailed and they are not the usual kind of hands you find inside Gundam. Why is that? Well, because they're a bit different than the usual Gundam hand. We have this rifle. Open hands. We only have the right hand one, if I'm not wrong. There is nice color separation over this gun. There is a nice bit of detail. Now we have a bunch of tiny black plug, which fundamentally you go and swap over the model kit. And those are the one thanks to which you can attach the bits, I think are called, or funnel. I think they're funnels. And there is also one thanks to which you can attach the shield. Sorry, I keep it attached there. Overall, very easy to swap, so don't fret, it takes like 2 seconds. There are like 4-6 of them if I'm not wrong, and then there is this one which is to block the shield. So there are a few that are random plugs like display stand and whatnot. We have the shield. I quite like the shield design. However, it looks a tiny bit less detailed than how it is into the anime. I think it's because of constraints of the size. However, still pretty cool. These are the funnel, the bits, the giant onion hide on the shoulder or wherever he wants to move them. I very much like them. However, I know for a fact that not everybody did love them. I think they are an external element of design that they pull inside the model kit, just to be a bit annoying. And this is the stuff that come out of the runner. So to clean up the stuff properly is gonna take a good 2 minutes with a hobby knife. I didn't have the time nor I care for. Quite fun. Overall, a lot of accessories, but I do have a bit of a complaint about it, but we're gonna look at it later. Now let's pull off our Red Gundam. And here it is. Okay, first thing first, it is high 5 inches or 12 centimeter and a half, and it doesn't look great in camera. One particular reason, the plastic, the color of the plastic, as I was saying, is not the usual char pink or char red, as you want to call it. It tends more toward the fluo, at least into this plastic, and this causes a super strange effect. So fundamentally, even if the kit is jam-packed with detail to a real great level, to be full honest about it, you can't see almost anything of it because this color kind of blend everything. So I highly recommend at a bare minimum of panel lining it. And if you color, might be a good idea to do a bit of study on color, on what color to do. I didn't see anything yet on YouTube that satisfies me color-wise. I will eventually paint it, but as it is, it will take, like, out of the box, the color is not great. It's not the same as the animation. As I was saying, tends a tiny bit more toward the flow spectrum. However, as I was showing, if you zoom very hard, you see there is so much detail, it just disappears. Now, for articulation, the head can go up and down, and the cool thing is that the proper head has not only the joint at the base of the neck, but there is also one that allow the face to go up and down. So pretty advanced as articulation. The arm can reach shoulder level. There is a butterfly joint. There is a double joint, like here you can fully close the arm. Honestly, this dude for articulation and build, it's more real great than a HG. It only misses the inner frame, but it doesn't need it. Anyway, ab crunch, possibility of waist rotation, ab crunch, and there is a kind of a torso upper mobility, kind of hard to understand where to move and where actually to stop the movement. Okay, anyway, ab crunch, that's still pretty good. Now the legs can drop a bit down so that you can do a full split. You can see almost a complete full split within the limits. There is a possibility of rotation on the thigh. There is a full closure underneath. There is a tiny bit of the tail there, which is always quite nice. Instead of the poor joint, you see you can rotate on the thigh. And the shoes, because these are really shoes, and this is one of the designer kind of easy to recognize point, they can rotate as well. Now, articulation-wise, this is pretty great. Honestly, as I was saying, this is more akin to a real great than anything over it. Sorry for the camera movement out of it. Overall, very, very, very good possibility of moving the kit around. There are a couple of things here and there that make me faint, but not if you like to pose your kit. This is actually going to be a lot of fun. Now let's do for a quick comparison, and then we're going to go quickly into conclusion. And let me pull off the stuff with which I do comparison, otherwise become a bit hard. Now, Lego dude, very small as usual. Then we're going to pull off a few HG kit that I have hanging around. Now we're going to pull off happily Zaku Police. It's way more bulky. Too bad I cannot pull off the G-Quacks because it's all disassembled on my desk. The Sinanju Stain. HG, much bigger, like much bigger. The Campfer, way more bulky, but high of similar height. And now the HG, way more bulky, but this is one of the larger HG in general. Now for conclusion. Okay, so pro and cons, let's go for the cons. I have a few. First one is not completely color accurate. There are stickers, which I don't love. So that is annoying. Second thing, there are only 2 bits inside of it. There should be at least before, if you want to have it as in the anime, which is, I think it goes around with 4, if not 6 bits. The bits are the funnel kind of stuff. Last thing out of it. So the problem is a tiny bit with the plastic. Not that it's not high quality, super high quality. The problem is the particular color that they choose. This kind of neon pink kind of blend together the detail that is super nice, super precise, super sharp, but because of the particular color, the kind of, I can see where they were going for the colorful palette that they use inside the anime. However, in reality, this doesn't go that well. So those are my negative. For the positive, this is super articulated. The design is super cool. There are a ton of accessories. And the build is quite fun. Actually, it is a lot of fun. So this will appeal to action figure collector, the advanced Lego builder, the Gundam collector, the modeler. The modeler will have a bit more of a challenge of the other two group in order to choose a color that kind of reminds this one, but it's not exactly this one. And they will have to do quite a bit of masking. I didn't see anything too terrible into the realm of Simline to fix, while both the G-Quacks and the Zaku Police had a few stuff. I didn't get the Galgok yet, but once it does arrive, I will do a quick review about it. Said so, I think this is a stellar design. Quite love it. I just very hope they're gonna release 1/100 scale out of it. However, in the wild, this will have to do. I'm pretty happy that this is proven to be a commercial success, so that we can really hope for a bigger version of this kit. Anyway, for me, this is a very easy recommend. Have a nice day, everyone.